Hey guys, it's been summer here, and isn't it the perfect time to declutter and clean your environment? If you think so, let's go, because I have decided to play good old minimalist games this time. And if you don't know, this is the game where on the first day you get rid of one item, on the second you get rid of two, on the third of three, and so on, and you're supposed to play it for 30 days. And spoiler alert, since I'm recording this actually after I have managed to declutter, I haven't played for 30 days, because it turns out that my apartment is pretty neat and clean and I don't need that many items to declutter. But I still managed to get rid of almost 200 physical items, and also I have spent a good amount of time decluttering my phone, because I went through my photos, my emails, some of the chats, and this all counts as the decluttering game. So yes, without further ado, let's just go. I'm going to show you what I have managed to get rid of, and of course I'm going to share some advices on how you can actually do it. So let's go.
So I'm simply going to show you the number of the day and what have I decided to get rid of, like this keyboard on the first day, or this ribbon and some weird pack on the second day, and so on. I just went day by day. Like, I found some pens that were not even writing anymore, or this calendar that I was supposed to give to my grandma, but then I ended up forgetting about it. On day 5, I got rid of my cat. No, just kidding, just some random stuff. And then also I checked the expiration date for my moisturizer, and turned out that it is really expired, so it had to go along with some of my skincare items and some hand cream that I don't even use. I also found some expired washing items, as well as like a bowl and a mirror, some stuff under my bathroom. And I continued in the bathroom looking through my makeup and taking out some bags, and I even found a book. I also got rid of 5 mugs that I were keeping just in case somebody arrived, but it's been 6 years that I'm living here. Nobody arrived.
Of course, talking about decluttering, there are some things that you can consider, like some rules that you can follow in order to understand whether you should declutter some item or you don't. And rule number 1 is obviously you don't use this item. So items that you don't use, you don't need them. And if you're struggling to understand whether or not the item is really something you need to use, like, you can take an experiment like I did with those jeans. Like, I had these jeans for quite some time, and well, I wasn't really sure if I'm wearing them that often, but I also wanted to keep them just in case. But what I did is that at the end of last year, I put them in a far, far away place on the shelf, and after half a year, I haven't worn them even once. So this is an answer to my question. I really don't need them. This item is not useful to me, so I can just go straight ahead and declutter it. So again, rule number 1, if you don't use it, get rid of it. Don't clutter your space. Next thing you can consider is duplicates of items that you also don't use probably so frequently. For example, I've been given quite many scarves as presents over the past time, and yes, I'm wearing them during winter and autumn, but honestly, do I need that many? Like, I tend to use only 2 maybe that often, and some others I just use in case I don't know, I feel like it. And at the same time, I understand that they do not bring that many benefit to me. All of those scarves are the same, and I just want to keep the ones that are more sort of universal, that I can use with as many outfits as I can. So that means that I can declutter some of the scarves that are duplicating other scarves and give them away to people who need them more than I do, and also clean my space. Next thing to consider is expiration date. And this is super important when it comes to medicine, obviously, because you don't want to keep medicine that will probably make you feel worse than better. But that approach can also help, for example, when it comes to your self-care items. Like, what was the last time you checked when is your moisturizer due? And do you know that there is this special thing on each item? Well, probably not this one. Oh no, it's here. Like, it says, hold on. Yeah, it says how many months since you've opened it and started using it, you can actually use it. So this is super important when it comes to your self-care items, your decorative cosmetics, and also the things you clean your house with. Like the other day, I was decluttering my bathroom, and I found out that some of the items that I used to wash my clothes with are actually expired, and then I was wondering why the result is not that good. So expiration date, remember. And also, of course, you can consider whether or not the item actually makes you sort of happy. Like, for example, I have this. Like, this looks pretty much like my cat, but, well, I bought it some time ago when I was in Finland, when I was a kid. And it just makes me happy. It just reminds me of that trip that I took back when I was a kid, like all the things that I used to do and the places I went to. So it's pretty much useless. Like, it's maybe a clutter in its essence, but it makes me happy. So then it doesn't make it a clutter anymore. It's just something that of a big value for me just because of the emotions that I feel when I look at that item. So yes, it doesn't mean that you need to get rid of everything and everywhere. Just be reasonable, and it's your space, it's your environment, so your rules. And yeah, let's all try to be a little bit more eco-friendly. When we declutter, we don't just throw out everything we don't want in our houses. When we declutter, we first try to think of maybe there are some other people that need these items the most. For example, when it comes to books, I usually take them to the book crossing station at my work. When it comes to clothes, there are special places where you can donate your clothes to those in need, and so on. So remember about that and remember to recycle. So I am a believer of this, and this is not a rule, but just, I guess, an advice.
Okay, let's continue. On day 11, I got also rid of random things along with my glasses that I haven't been wearing in 10 years. And then I moved on to medicine, and oh my god, there was so many expired items. Check your medicine, please. On day 13, I went to the kitchen and I got rid of some old pan, and also I found some things that I don't use anymore that seem expired, tasting bad or smelling bad, and just overall some things that shouldn't be keeping in my house. Day 14 was dedicated to my clothes, and I found quite many things that, well, I've given them the second life, and I also got rid of old tripod that was broken. On day 15, I continued with some clothes like scarves and shoes that were leaking, and I just didn't want to give them away, but they could not be repaired anymore. And on day 16, I also found some random things like these 7 markers. All of them were dry. Day 17, I managed to get rid of additional random small things that were just there, and I didn't want them in my space. And on final day, I managed to get rid of 20 items.
So I also wanted to talk about why I feel playing this game or decluttering your space overall is such a good idea. For me, it all comes down to the fact that when I'm surrounded by mess, I guess my attention span also reduces, but I also feel like if there is some chaos going on around me, then there is chaos inside of me. So when there is just more or less clean and nice environment everywhere, then I just feel better. This is number one. Number two is just so nice to get rid of things, and also it's so nice to give away. But most importantly, when you declutter, you can understand that actually there are some things that you don't need so much. Like, why would you buy 5 pair of jeans that pretty much look the same instead of just spending your time and investing in 2 maybe or something like that? Maybe you can reconsider your tendency to fast fashion, buy items that are just in fashion for 1 year and then you don't need them anymore. And it's just nice because it gives you this prospect, because you look actually on all items that you have and you question each and every one of them, remembering where did you get it in the first place. So I think decluttering is a really, really good idea for all of us, because in the end, it might be contributing to the fact how we are over-consuming everything, and maybe it will help us to stop doing that. Because even I noticed I've been doing decluttering pretty much every year, 2 times, before New Year and somewhere in the middle of the year. And every time it's harder and harder to declutter because I have less and less items that do not comply with the rules that I mentioned in the middle of the video. So if you are interested, try and do that and share, of course, your experience with me, what you think about that. But anyways, thanks for staying with me for today's video, and I wish you a beautiful and nice day. Enjoy your summer, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.